boy. No, this is not good. There we go. Oh,
Jesus.
Why did I sound like a squirrel?
I have no eardrums left. Hold on.
Why is it British?
Fucking Penelope.
Welcome to this episode of the Bunk Room Chats podcast with me, Elena, also known as Betty,
Tim.
and Tim, also known as Conrad. Today, we're going to be talking about self-sabotage.
You're very excited.
I am excited. I'm excited about this because, not to brag, but I feel like I'm an expert in this topic. I feel like
That's a good non-brag.
That's my humble brag for the day. No, I feel like I am absolutely guilty of this. Like, I feel like I self-sabotage all the time. So I am kind of excited about talking about this. So I guess we'll just dive right in.
That's what we do.
So I think that at least with my experience, I think self-sabotage comes in a lot of different forms. There's kind of trying to stop whatever good luck you're having before it naturally runs out.
Because you don't deserve it.
Because you don't deserve it. Because you feel like, in my case, it's that, but it's also like, I feel like I'm a bad luck magnet. So it's kind of like, I've always been like, you know what, I'm just going to, and it's not a conscious thing, you know, it's not like you say to yourself, I am going to stop this good luck now. It's more of doing
consciously.
Yeah, it's more of doing little things to inadvertently cause bad things to happen, and then inevitably you're like, well, why is this happening to me? Well, you did it to yourself. Like, that's what I do. You know, it's like and then I wonder why these things are happening. Well, you know, so it's like a vicious cycle, just like any mental health thing.
How do you stop your bad luck? I mean, your good luck.
I mean, I feel like I have a bunch of different things that I kind of fall back on, just like unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy coping mechanisms, things that I would use when I was in like a bad spot mentally, that I just are kind of like muscle memory. You fall back on those things. And it can be different for everybody. I mean, it can be even so much as someone who's an addict falling back on addiction when they're doing really well, because it's like, well, this is going to end. I might as well.
Which, well,
What?
I guess that is a thing.
What were you going to say?
Just so eloquently put. I'll just, it's going to end anyway. I'm just going to relapse.
I've done that. Like, there have been times where I've thought, not recently, thankfully, but there have been times where even if I'm not having that, like, craving, like the craving that you have, like, there are times where I don't have that, but I'm still like, you know what, I could definitely go for, some pills right now.
Yes, I'm an addict. I know what you're talking about.
And there's no good reason for it. It's just like, well,
it's because I'm an addict.
Yeah.
There's a pretty damn
there's
good
a reason for it. But yeah, I think that it comes in a bunch of different forms, but it's dangerous nonetheless to get stuck in that self-sabotage kind of.
Yeah, because then you just want to live a life of perpetual shit.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but that takes
That's
a lot
where you're
of
comfortable.
Me personally.
Well, yeah, you're very excited about this.
I think that's a normal thing, don't you? To like feel more comfortable being. It's the same as anything else. Like, you're more comfortable being unhealthy than you are being healthy, because.
I mean, I guess I was back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, now I don't feel like I understand it as much because it's been 5 years since I mean, there's still, don't get me wrong, there's still times where I could potentially say I was self-sabotaging myself, or, but it honestly feels different now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because that means you've gotten over that, like, you know,
self-sabotaging hump.
Yes, exactly. But here's another thing that I think we as first responders do.
Tell me.
I will, thank you. That's self-sabotaging is working too much.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think that's a big you sign up. It's not like an 8-hour shift where if you sign up for an extra shift, it's like, I'm working for 8 hours. If you sign up for an extra shift, that's 24 hours. That's a long time.
Yeah.
If you're already tired.
I did that for a good bit when I was still drinking, and shortly thereafter when I stopped, because I was still scared of, like, it felt like a safe bubble at work.
Yeah. If you can't have access to it, then it kind of
I can definitely get on board with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, 100% guilty as charged.
Yeah.
To sign up for work just to almost not be here.
Yeah. 100%. And I know a lot of people who do that. If they're going through something at home, I'm just going to be gone. Does
that qualify
as self-sabotage?
Yeah. I
think it can if you're intentionally or unintentionally avoiding an issue. Like if you know that leaving is not going to help anything, that being away is not going to help anything, but you're going anyway because you just can't deal with being at home. You're sabotaging your relationship, you're sabotaging your mental health, so it's an avoidance, but I think it also is self-sabotage in a way too. I think it can be both, if that makes sense.
It does.
But actually, that's something interesting too, is that I feel like little kids do that too. Have you ever seen, like, when a little kid, like, hits their head on something, they'll do it again? It's like their way of processing what happened. Have you seen that? Does your daughter do that?
No.
If, like, it's a thing that kids it's a thing that kids do where, like, if they hit their head on something, they'll, like, do it again. They'll replicate what happened so that they can process, because they, like, they're processing their trauma. We kind of do the same thing, like if something bad happens, a lot of times we put ourselves back in that spiral, back in that cycle, and keep experiencing it over and over and over again. And that's our way of processing it.
Well, no, that's our way of not processing.
Well, yes.
By not processing it, we keep reliving it.
Yes. But that's another avoidance thing.
Well, a lot of people don't know how to appropriately process a significant trauma.
Yes.
Like a death.
Yeah.
They don't. You go through the 5 stages of grieving, but if you don't actually do work to process it, like talk to a therapist or something, that'll get better on its own.
And I think
often doesn't.
You might trick yourself into thinking it does get better because you avoid it so well. I've done that. Like and I think that's another self-sabotage thing too, but like I've done the avoiding it so much that I genuinely think that I've gotten past it until something happens to...
Yeah, and you're right back in.
Yep, like either remind me or like it triggers something, and then I'm like, oh my God, I have not gotten past it.
The biggest thing that we deal with, or that most first responders deal with, is the bad call.
Yeah.
And we're all tough. We get it. We know it didn't bother us in the moment, and that's what we're here for. But there's nobody out there that does this job can run, I don't know, a kid that's dying in front of you and maybe does pass away in the end. And there's none of us that can say we were truly okay with that.
Yeah.
That didn't bother us.
Yeah.
And if there is somebody out there, then they probably shouldn't be doing this job.
Yeah. Or they're lying. Either one. Yeah. No, that's absolutely true.
So
yeah.
To that point, if there is a significant call like that is going to stick with you and rattle around in your brain. You have to process that in a way that might be uncomfortable if you don't like talking to a therapist or doing something in a progressive manner or in a
Productive.
productive
Mhm.
manner that's going to help you come to terms with what you just seen done. And sometimes it takes months to
Oh, yeah.
resonate before you even realize it did bother you. I'll get back to that in a second. Currently, the way it was explained to me was that your brain, you know, in its infinite and we don't know how it works.
Yes.
Like it's
Still,
just
we don't know how it
there's
works.
so much, but what it does in the layman's the most simplest of terms with memories is it timestamps it and it files it away in a giant filing cabinet. These are good memories. Like when your dad goes fishing with you or something like that, your brain is able to say, "This happened on this day,
Yeah.
at this time," files it away, and you can go back and retrieve it if you ever want to. With a traumatic incident, uh, it it sends the brain into what can only be described as like when the heart is in VFib.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a mess of brainwaves and stuff, and it doesn't timestamp it, and it doesn't process it, and it doesn't file it. So it's just constantly banging around up there,
Mm-hmm.
and you're always in the moment. If it doesn't file it away, you're still living it,
Yep.
and you can. That's why you can. The sensory things are so strong. That's why you can always still
Yeah.
smell the thing. You can still see the
Feel
wallpaper.
it. Yeah.
It's still present
Yeah.
until you are able to process it, talk to a therapist, do something to process it, come to terms with it. Then that allows your brain to timestamp it and put it away.
Yeah. But there's also some stuff that's like it's too. Not that there's anything. I would like to think that there's nothing that's too hard to process. But sometimes it feels like there's stuff that's too hard to process.
Well, just because you process it, don't get me wrong. I mean, the call still sucks.
Yeah.
We all still have our calls. I had one that I worked through at rehab, and it's still there. Like,
Yeah.
it still sucks, but it's definitely better than I can feel like I'm not living. It's not still so present 12 years, 13, 14 years later.
I think part of it, and I don't know if you'll be able to relate to this, agree with this, but for me, I think part of it is that we don't get closure. We show up, we do our job. A lot of times it ends badly, and we leave. We don't go to the funerals. We don't go to, we don't have the that closure piece of, even though we don't know these, in most cases we don't know these people, but it's almost like you're jumping into a story in the middle and then jumping right back out.
Yeah.
Like there's no closure. And I think that is what is oftentimes difficult for me. I know what I always struggle with is not necessarily the patients themselves, but I struggle very much with the families. When I see families in distress because of a patient, if a patient dies, whether it's a kid, an adult, whatever, and the family is really messed up over it, that's what sticks with me.
Yeah.
It's those reactions that
Truly the worst day of their life.
Yeah.
We get told that we're going into people's homes on the worst days of their lives and stuff, and a lot of times it's like the sniffles and what have you. But
Mhm.
this is a case where it truly is the worst day
Yep.
of their life. One of their loved ones is dead.
Yep.
You can follow up on certain things through supervisors
Mhm.
and what have you, but it's an interesting point. And as we try and make this podcast for all first responders and stuff, we're just firefighters, and
Mhm.
we're talking from that aspect. I know if you talk to a cop, like if there's a bad accident or a murder or something, or even any death, because cops are dispatched on any death because it could be a crime
Yeah.
scene. Yeah, we get to show up, do our thing, and then FO.
Yeah.
They got to deal with it for
Yeah.
like the next few weeks.
Yep.
And they got to live with this for a while.
But do you think that's obviously we would have to talk to someone in that field in order to truly understand that, which by the way, we're always welcome to have guests, so please contact us.
Yeah.
But do you think that would be harder or easier to stay with it? Cuz in some sense I think it might be better because you have longer to process it, you know?
I think it would be. I don't know. Because all I know is
This.
yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be easier to live in it for the next? Now you don't have the scene will be cleaned up
Yeah.
and everything like that, but you still have to talk to the family members who are still obviously distraught for a couple of days after,
Yeah.
you know.
A couple of days, a couple of years probably. But yeah, I get what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about,
I get what
like
you
when
mean,
it's
yeah.
still really fresh.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to find time to talk to
Yeah.
a police officer and
To get that perspective of it, because I feel like it is definitely very different the longer you have with victims, patients, whatever the case may be. But I think that lack of closure is what has really affected me the most. Because then it's like a lot of times you go straight from that call to another one. Like you literally don't have time to think of, like, it's just like you go from
catch you on Insta.
yeah. You go from one to the next and you file, like you said, you file it away and you keep doing your job. But I think it's the fact that we really don't get the opportunity, and that because I think about these calls in my downtime. That's when it kind of like comes back to me. Or of course if we get a call that's similar, like I had a really bad absolutely not. But I had a really bad motorcycle accident that I went on some time ago, and now every single time there's another motorcycle accident, I think of that one.
I can't I can't drive under the bridge on 15 up this way here without still thinking about a guy that jumped off of it and was just annihilated by a tractor trailer. And that one didn't even really bother me that much. Like, it bothers you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you don't
this one
think
didn't really
that it did. Obviously
stick
it
with me,
stuck
but
with
it
you.
still
Yeah.
I can't go under that bridge without thinking of that guy.
Yep.
But it's not an intrusive thought. Like some of them, the ones that really sit with you are.
I would say those are, yes. Yeah. And it's like you said, like there are some calls that are so, what's the word? I want to say graphic. Remember graphic?
This one was graphic. Yeah.
But there are some that are so like visceral that you remember like the smells and the.
Oh yeah,
know.
definitely. There's certain smells that people should not smell in their life.
Yeah.
And we do it like 175 times in our career.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing that stays with you. But I have to say, this is something that I know a lot of people will not, in this field, will not agree with me on. But something that will never not be jarring to me is you go on a call where it's like you're trying to save this person's life. Maybe they had a heart attack. Maybe it was a trauma arrest, whatever it was. You don't save them. They die. You come back and you eat dinner.
Yum.
And I just never can wrap my head around that. And I do it now. Like, I'm able to. Like, I used to not be able to eat after.
Because, quite simply, and it's hard.
Life goes on?
Yeah, life goes on. Like, the sun still comes up the next day. These people have passed on, but
we haven't.
Our life goes on, and more people need help. And that's where we fall down. What you're talking about is where we fall down. We don't talk about it. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to come back to when I was talking previously. The peer support and CISM, critical incident stress management. When there's a bad call that affects a lot of people, we got a lot of guys and gals that are on the scene of this incident, and it's pretty significant, and it's to the point where we need to, the higher ups say, let's get CISM in here, let's get peer support. that's so good that we recognize that and do that, but there isn't a soul who's going to be ready to talk about it.
Oh my God! Right after
30 seconds after we go in service.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to come back to the firehouse. Does anybody want to go home? No.
Yeah.
Does anybody need to talk? No. We're all good.
I have never once heard someone say, "Yes, I would like to talk about
it.
it."
It's not the
Yeah.
right time.
Yeah.
So what I've always said is, and what we don't do is that we need to enact them or put them into or mobilize them.
Yeah.
These services like 6 to 8 months after the call.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
after people have lived with it for a little bit, and it's still causing them some issue that they wouldn't recognize immediately after we hit the in service button. Like,
yeah. Because you're still even then you're still kind of in it. You're still analyzing what
like,
happened, and
it's like being in a car accident and rolling it 3 times and then crawling out of the window and somebody asking you, what do you remember as the car went out of control?
Yeah. 100%.
I don't know. Give me a goddamn minute. Let me figure out why I'm upside down here, and then I'll get back to you. And
yeah. No, that's very true, and it's a good metaphor too, honestly. Like thinking about that, the car accident in context of, what we deal with, because you do need time to process it. You need time to get out and think about it, and I think that's something that is kind of lacking, is that continued, come again in a month or two, and let's talk about that, but I think there's that stigma still of like, no one wants to be the person to speak up and be like, actually I want
well,
hey, I want to talk about it.
We just need somebody to lead the way.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't often need those services, but again, the at the time that they're provided, I don't.
Yeah.
I could use them now.
Yeah.
On certain things, but what you got to do is just find a good therapist. I'm getting back into therapy.
That's good.
Right now. I have an email waiting for me to respond to after we finish this. Well, I got to thinking, I'm like, I had all these issues. Well, not issues, but like I had a rough couple of months with my own mental health. And a lot of times I just sweep it under the rug now and ignore it and revert back to those bad ways of dealing with it that I don't realize that I'm doing until somebody like my wife says, "What? You're kind of fucked up."
I mean, I feel like every first responder should be in therapy. That's just my opinion.
So I mean, that was one of the things that I said, like, what can I do differently other than exercise and get back out there and stuff. I'm like, motherfucker, I talk about therapy all the time, and I haven't been doing it here lately because I thought, I didn't think I was like graduated from it, but like I hadn't needed it in a little bit. I felt truly good. And
I mean, I was kind of at that point. Like I felt like I was in a much better spot. I didn't feel like I needed it anymore, and then something pretty shitty happened, and I was like, I need to go back to therapy. Like I need help to process.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest self-sabotage things I do to myself anymore. Now that I don't drink and all that, and self-medicate all the time, I just ignore my body telling me that I'm not well.
Yeah. Why do you think you do that?
Because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to think that like I'm that fucked up that I can't. Why can't I get my shit together all the way for longer than a couple of months or a year or two or whatever?
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, but at the same time, I feel like everybody, even people who are super well-adjusted, healthy, happy individuals, could benefit from therapy. It's just self-analysis.
It's big time, yeah.
Yeah, it's just looking at your own shit and figuring out how you communicate with yourself and others. Like
I talk about it constantly.
Yeah.
And then I don't do it. Self-sabotage.
Yeah. No, it is. It's definitely a form of self-sabotage. But I feel like that's something that a lot of first responders need and don't have is therapy. Because we don't want to talk.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, think about it. You kind of have to be a little bit fucked up to do this job in the first place. Like, you're setting yourself up for, like, repeat trauma over and over and over again.
A lot of people don't realize exactly what they're signing up
That's
for.
true. That's true.
You know,
That's true.
they think it's a cool guy job, and
And it is.
it is.
It is. It's
I
the best
love
job.
the job.
It's
I
the best
still love
job.
the job.
Yeah.
Even though it can be quite difficult sometimes.
It's the best job in the world, but I think that a lot of people could benefit from therapy because I've seen firsthand how this job messes up relationships, family life, because you can't handle your shit.
After talking to those trauma clinicians that they have at the Center of Excellence, I've often said anybody with 10 or more years on the job should sit down with these people for a week, like, and just let them climb inside your head. It is truly an art form what they do and what they're able to pull out of you.
Scary.
It's wizardry, like it's mind wizardry. If
In a good way, I hope.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you walk out of there feeling 50 pounds lighter. I'm
good
not
to
even
know.
kidding. It's just, I think anybody with a significant amount of time on this job, I would say 10, maybe even 5, but 10 or more years, you should be mandated to go talk to these people for. Yeah, you can't mandate something like
Yeah.
that, but
Maybe
you
offer
know,
it as like a
I mean, what does that do?
yeah.
I mean, but like you should really do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how else other than you need to really do this. Like, we can't make you, but you should really fucking do this.
Like, what is it? Like voluntold to do
Yeah.
it. But something that I've noticed, knowing it, a lot of firemen, I'm calling people out now, is like an apathy. You kind of develop
Yeah, definitely.
apathy over time and compassion fatigue.
My wife thinks I'm the most apathetic person on the face of the earth.
But you're not the only one. Like, it does happen. And I've caught myself.
Because we transfer that shit home, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've caught myself doing that. I used to be, and I still am, like, a super empathetic person. But it started. It has started with me, like, where I feel like I'm quicker to judge people.
How long do you have on now? Like, don't count your volunteer time.
If I don't count volunteer, almost 2 years.
All right, with volunteer time.
8.
Because you put in career time. Like, you worked shifts.
Yes.
Like 24-hour shifts.
Yes. Which is why I count that, because I was there with
Yeah.
you guys every shift.
I say
Sometimes 48. So, yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people in this job become super, super apathetic and have compassion fatigue, like real bad. Really bad compassion fatigue. And I have called people out on it. I have a lot of really good friends that are firemen, and I have called out a lot of them.
Are you nice about it?
Yes, of course I'm nice about it. Yeah, I'm nice about it. I'm not like, you don't have compassion. No, I'm nice
You,
about
sir,
it.
have compassion fatigue.
I'm nice about it, but I have, like, noticed it in other people and in myself is what I'm saying, too. Like, I've noticed, especially if I work a long consecutive, like if I work 48 or 72 or something like that, straight.
72.
Yeah, we're allowed to do that.
That's
Not
a long
anymore.
time.
Now they stop us, but they let us do it before.
You must have been hurting for employees.
Oh my god, bad. Yeah. But if I work like a super long stretch, toward the end of it, I feel like I'm just like, I struggle. I have to like force myself to really put myself in the shoes of the people that I'm around. Especially people who it's very, very easy to judge their situation. I try very hard to kind of put myself in their situation and think about how hard it would be if it were me.
And unfortunately, we do have that does need to be something that's done, even on these calls where run the same person over and over and over again. It's the quickest one where it's going to get somebody in trouble at some point. Those are the calls that are going to fuck somebody's career up, because the one time that they're going to call and actually need you.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And you're just going to be complacent because it's just so-and-so again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's scary, actually.
Yeah.
Because we do get complacent with it. It's just like, get in. Come on, let's go.
Yep. Because you think like, oh, it's the same one that they always call. It's always this. It's always nothing. It's always fine.
And it's so bizarre to me that there is one or two of those people in any first due area that
everywhere.
you go to.
It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. There's like a handful of people, depending on I think the number of people depends on the area, but there's like a handful of people. Every station has them,
Mm-hmm.
and they just constantly call, and it's almost always nothing. But that's the thing. You get used to it being nothing, and that's where the compassion fatigue comes in too. And there's also, like, I've had, even with someone with my background, knowing people of your background, I have seen people who...
German? Irish? So, bringing it back to self-sabotage.
Yes.
Hold on. We were still talking about apathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apathy is something that also causes your self-sabotage. Because when you bring that shit home, like I was just talking about, you don't realize that maybe it's not an intentional self-sabotage, but it is sabotaging a situation where you need to be present as a husband or a wife. You need to be present as a father or a mother. And your apathy is at a level after 18, 19, 20 years where it's
you can't.
hard.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's even that it's hard. I think there's a block. I think there's a mental block there. I think for a lot of people, you just can't get to that.
It's not an intentional thing.
I
genuinely don't care.
But I think
my wife asks me all the time about something as simple as dinner. What do you want for dinner? I don't care.
That's not a great thing. But
I don't. Like, you guys tell me what you want. I'll eat anything.
But I think that's a coping mechanism too. Because think about it this way, like...
You think I should talk to my therapist about
Yes.
that?
No, I do. I genuinely do, because I think that I'm someone who is very, like, I'm an empath. So I feel everything all the time for everybody. It's annoying.
But you just say you didn't.
No, I said I'm starting to do that, especially at the end of, like, long stretches where I'll start having that compassion fatigue. But that's where I was going with that, is that I feel for everybody. And that is very exhausting for this job, because if you feel for every single person, if you take on the pain of every single person, you become mentally and emotionally exhausted.
I'm confused because we were just talking about wanting to walk a mile in their shoes.
Finish. No, but like I feel like if you feel a lot for everybody, it gets exhausting. So you can't do that. Like, you can't let yourself feel that much for every single person. So I think that's what I was saying about, like, it's a mental block. Like, eventually I think you shut that off, and that's probably what you've done without realizing it, is you just shut off that part of your brain that cares too much, because you can't do that. You'll shrivel up. Nobody can take on all of that pain. Think about how many people we see on a daily basis.
Yeah, but I'm still confused as to how we're supposed to walk a mile in their shoes.
Well, that's the difference between being, like, empathetic and what's the other one? Sympathetic.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like I think that's where we kind of have to have more sympathy than empathy. I'm moving away from the camera again.
Yes.
Because if it's empathy, you're feeling for them. And if it's sympathy, you're kind of like...
A lot of times I just want to get back to the fire station.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Because
I love running calls. But as soon as we get out of a call, it's like our mission to get back
I
to the
know.
fire.
Yeah, I do the same thing. But it's because that's home. It's safe, you know?
Well,
I say that all the time. I'm like, let's go home. Like, as if the station is my home.
let's go home.
Let's go home. I'm like, after this call, we got to get fuel and then we got to go home. Like,
Well,
station
you
is
do.
home.
It is.
Yeah,
you
that's
you got your
true.
own bed there. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got your own little space.
Yep. You make it your own. But yeah, I think that there's degrees to it, and everybody deals with it in a different way. Everybody feels a different way. But I think going back to therapy, that's why therapy is important.
Yeah, because like it could get dangerous if you're at a level of apathy that is so. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like you're at a level that is going to heed your ability to do the job
Yes.
properly,
Yeah.
and you start missing things
Yeah.
that you normally wouldn't have.
Like with the frequent flyers, like you were saying. Yeah. Like if you're so used to these same people calling for the same things and you just have blinders on,
Yeah,
that is when it gets dangerous.
yeah. I've seen it in myself. Sometimes I'll come back from a call, and I'll be like, it doesn't go out as a like one of the things that I'm really good at. I feel like I'm good at is we'll get hit for something like I don't even know, like decreased level, something like that, decreased level of consciousness, and we'll get there, and I'll start noticing stroke signs, like immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's going on. And I feel like I've always been pretty good at that. And then sometimes I'll come back and I'm like, it was so simple. It was right there in front of my face. Why didn't I see it? Because I didn't see it that time. And I had a level of I didn't give a fuck at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're getting there. Like it to the point of anyway. Apathy sucks, and we can definitely cover that more in the future. But like bringing it back to self-sabotage. What have you, if anything, done to remedy your self-sabotaging streak? Because I went to rehab.
We'll talk about that later. But
Oh, if anything.
so I suck at it, honestly. Like I'm really bad with self-sabotage. I do that all the time, but it's recognizing it is the biggest thing. My old therapist used to say a lot of it is recognizing that you're doing it.
I do that for you sometimes.
Yes. No, you do. Like a lot of times you've been the first person to be like you're self-sabotaging again. Like these things that you're doing are
Please stop
hurting
it.
you. Yeah. Because to me, the things that I'm doing are coping mechanisms, and to someone who is objective like yourself, you can see that they're hurting me when I can't see that.
But I can't see my own things either.
Yeah.
Where I'm falling down.
Yeah.
So.
That's why you need someone. You know, you need people in your life who are able to call you out a little bit, and you need therapy. Therapy is helpful.
Therapeutic.
It's therapeutic. But yeah, I think what I do is trying to recognize it, and then trying to replace slowly, because you can't do it all at once. Not going to work. Slowly replace the negative coping skills that are harmful with positive coping skills that are healthy. One at a time, because if I were to try to like completely change everything that I do immediately, I would just spiral me back down.
So if anybody is still listening this far into the episode,
thank you.
And want to figure out if they're self-sabotaging or doing anything along those lines, and don't have a person that can say, hey, you're self-sabotaging, what should we tell them, and what kind of help can you reach out for?
I would definitely say,
I mean, we've said therapy.
We've said therapy. Therapy is big. Journaling, obviously, I will always say, because there's things that if you write things out, they seem a lot more clear than if they're in your head. So if you write down these things that you think are positive coping mechanisms, a lot of times when you, I'm like miming it, when you write things out and you read them back, you can see more clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is not actually what I thought it was. So I would say journaling is really important. And also be honest with yourself. I think that's a really big one. It's very easy to lie to ourselves and say that what we're doing is,
And everybody has a person.
yeah,
Because I was just saying, like, what if you don't have a person? The answer to that is that everybody has a person. You have somebody
yeah,
in your life or on the job or wherever. Just even a friend that doesn't have anything to do with the
yeah.
job.
Sometimes somebody super objective is the best one to talk to, honestly. Like, sometimes somebody who doesn't know you very well, people to talk to because they're very objective,
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Okay.
Let's wrap it up. How do you want to wrap it up?
Well, those are some good ideas, and hopefully we can put some links into the show description as well on any possible websites or articles or just help that we've found in the episode description. Speaking of the episode description,
If you would like to
what
be
a fucking pro I am, huh?
if you would like to be a guest on the show, or if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to get in touch with us at bunkroomchatspodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on social media. We are on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on
things.
everything. And we'd love to hear from you. And if you are a first responder, if you're a nurse, if you're a police officer, please reach out to us. We'd love to get you on the show, talk about your perspective. Dispatchers, anybody in this field. And thank you again for listening.
I have a few more lined up.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, thanks for listening to us ramble.
And be safe.